ఫస్ట్ వెబ్ బ్రౌజర్లో జూమ్ లాగిన్ అయ్యి అప్పుడు ట్రై
Okay,
చేయి.
it is okay.
ఓకే. యా.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning for joining. Uh, Today we are part of our 41 days beginners challenge. I am Nidhi Kohli, and I will be assisting you with the meditation and the talk today. Uh, I have been in meditation regularly for last 3 years, although there had been signs much before that I should get seriously into meditation, but sometimes we ignore those signs. So uh, but since last 3 years I have been doing regular meditation, and I have had tremendous impact that I have seen, positive influences, positive impact on in my life in general. And with that, I want to share those moments with you. And but before that, let's start with our meditation. You can, cross your fingers, cross your legs. If you're sitting on the floor or on the chair, just remove your specs and cross your legs and fingers, and we can then start the meditation. Close your eyes. Observe your breath, a normal, natural breath. Just observe your breath. Bring in, breath coming out. Just observe your breath. Thoughts may come. Just observe them. Let them pass.
Christian men don't struggle build.
If you find that thoughts are coming, just bring your attention back to your breath.
This is day 1 of my stepmom practicing Tai Chi.
This is day 26 of my stepmom practicing Tai Chi.
Simply come back to your breath. Roll up your palms. Place it in on your eyes. Express gratitude. Slowly open your eyes. Slowly rise. Be grateful for this moment, for the wonderful meditation. Come back. Hope you had a great meditation. Today, we are going to talk about a very common situation that we all handle, assumptions that we make, and how it impacts our life. And the topic that I have chosen is all related to our day-to-day dealings in life and how we can further, move to next step. So as we all know that in our life, we are here to grow in our knowledge spiritually and to connect to our higher self and the things that we need to learn lessons and grow from there. So with keeping that in mind, I picked up the topic of assumptions. Now, before going to assumptions, I want to share an incident which actually, drove my attention to how assumptions can impact. There are many times, I have made assumptions. That's a fact. But this particular incident, it just acted as a catalyst. And sometimes there is a particular situation which connects with you and brings you to the reality. So one day I was at some place and one of my close friend, who's also a childhood friend, crossed, just crossed me. He looked at me, but he did not acknowledge. He did not made eye contact. He did not greet. And I was very surprised. What happened? We are so good friends. And, it's like he completely ignored. And then he left. He left, but I was there in my own. I stopped whatever I was doing. I was talking to somebody. I just, came back within my mind was all over the place that what really happened. Why did he not acknowledge me? We are such good friends, and everybody, it's a small place. We all know each other, and first I thought that, okay, how dare he ignore me? Then I was like, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe he's upset with me. What really happened? And then, I started, these thoughts kept coming again and again in some words, some forms in my mind. And by evening, I had completely believed that we are no longer friends. And with that in my belief system, I kind of said, okay, you don't want to be friends with me. I also don't want to be friends with you. I stopped texting. I stopped, responding on group messages or even acknowledging or anything. So basically, I stopped talking with him. Now, after a few days, we again met. And he met very nicely. I was very cold. And he asked me, what happened? Why are you like this? Something happened? Do you need any help? And then I was, I kind of blurted out, you ignored me the other day. I thought you don't want to be friends with me. And he was shocked. Which day you are talking about? Then I told him the day and the situation. And then he told me that he just got the news some time ago on that day only, that his father was hospitalized and his mind was somewhere else. He probably, even though he looked at me, he did not even pay attention to whom he was looking. Now, that stuck with me. Because, see, what had I done? I made some stories. My mind played tricks. I kept thinking of so many different negative combinations, and with those assumptions that I had made about him, I withdrew myself. Had we not met that day, we would have cut down our ties completely. So with that, it made me realize that sometimes as making assumptions can lead to situations we do not want in our life. Now, what are these assumptions? Actually speaking, if I say, assumptions are, almost everything we tell ourselves. Even smallest things, why this happened, what that happened, or how it is. It's the danger of uncontrolled thoughts. And in many meditation and spiritual talks, we discuss about how our uncontrolled thoughts can be our biggest enemies. Why? Because these uncontrolled thoughts make us, lead us to make some assumptions. And then with one assumption, we lead to another. With second, we go to third one. And then we start judging people. I mean, that day, that thought also came to me. Maybe he thinks too high of himself. Maybe he's become big in his life. He's become director. So now he does not want to talk. So, we start judging people and we make it personal. By doing that, we unnecessarily create problems. We don't check, we don't ask, we just believe whatever our mind has created a story. There was one small incident, and with that incident, my mind made so many stories. It filled all the gaps. It felt as if, this happened, that is the attitude, all those things kept happening. And had I just checked, had I just asked him directly, stopped him instead of my ego coming in, the whole situation wouldn't have happened. So that's where meditation actually helps us. Because when we are meditating, we are observing our thoughts. We're just observing our breath, our thoughts. We don't get involved in those thoughts. They come, they go, we just notice them. Right? So now why we make assumptions? We make assumptions for many reasons, but primarily if I see, there are three major reasons which come into picture. One is our ego. Like, how dare he did not talk to me? Or, he has disrespected me. And with ego comes the anger. So how do you identify that this is the ego which is coming in when we are making assumptions? Because we are angry. All of a sudden, it's like, this cannot happen. I mean, who is he to think of himself? So that's anger is what, if you get into that mode, that means it is your ego that is playing. Now, this anger actually comes from certain fears. And the primary fear is that of insecurity. Insecurity of the relationships around us, insecurity of the things around us. And we start making, statements like, they must not like me, I would have done something wrong, and all that. So I also thought that day, how could he not talk to me? Does he not know that I am his childhood friend? And then I started thinking about, what have I done really wrong for his behavior like that? Sometimes this also comes from past trauma. If we were in, while growing up, we were in a situation where we were isolated. Maybe we did not have a lot of friends, or maybe, we were not acknowledged enough. Then some of these things can also lead to us making assumptions. This always happens to me. Whenever you see some words like always happens to me, or this is the way it is, this means there is some underlying worry that you have buried deep down in your heart that you have to let go. So making assumptions and going through the pain is actually a way of mirroring that there are some deep wounds or some insecurities that you have to overcome. And with meditation, I have seen that now I am getting clarity. I see clearly that, oh, I have made assumption. I see clearly that maybe it is my mind which is playing the trick. Then I stop and ask, is it really true? And when I do that, I usually try to find out what is it that made me think in this manner. Maybe there is an underlying some pattern which I have to overcome. Now you have to think, whenever you catch yourself in such a situation, I would suggest sit down quietly, 10 minutes, do meditation, and think about that, okay, what is it that you have to become better at? Because when we start seeing things clearly, assumptions slowly, they lose power. They'll not happen. because we have learned our lesson from there. Now it leads to, we all know, whenever we make assumptions and things like that, what it leads to? It leads to disturbed mind. My peace is stolen, I am suffering, and these thoughts are creating suffering in me. Now, in spiritual talks, we often hear that awareness of mind is the key factor. When we are meditating, we are being aware of us, ourselves. And that is the key to overcoming the suffering. Because, as Buddha also said, that suffering is not coming from the event. Suffering, events keep happening around us. It's not because of that event happening. The suffering comes because of the interpretations that we give around that event. Because we start making stories. We start, creating that, okay, this happened, it means this. So when we start putting that logic, that's when our, pain starts happening. That's when our suffering starts happening. Now, how do we overcome it? So we understand what we are doing, why we are doing, how we can observe that we are getting into this pattern. So how do you overcome this habit? In my experience, I have seen that since I started meditation, my level of making assumptions has decreased a lot. And also, when I'm getting into that mode, suddenly that light bulb strikes that, oh, you know what? I think you may be going in the wrong direction. Maybe this is, I am making up a story. So meditation has really, really helped me overcome, this particular behavioral pattern in me. Because when we meditate, we observe. We understand that thoughts are like clouds. So they'll come, they'll go. And if you're not paying attention to a thought, it will just vanish. Because see, something materializes or something stays when you are feeding it. If you don't put water or give sunlight to a plant, that plant will eventually die. Same way, if you don't pay attention to your thoughts, especially because we do a lot of negative thinking, if we don't pay attention, then those thoughts will die away. So all you need to do is just observe those thoughts and think that, instead of saying, oh, he does not care, say, maybe he's going through something, right? So because when you observe, you realize that, okay, I may not be thinking a positive thought. So we pause before reacting. We pause before making assumptions and judgments and, reaction. Because we, at least at this point, we have figured out that we are making an assumption. So we pause, we ask ourselves, is it really a fact? Is it true? Or is it something that my mind is making up? So we separate facts from the stories that we make. Then what you should do? If you are in doubt what you should do, you need to ask the other person, get the clarity. I mean, all I could have done that day was stopped him and, just say, hey, is something off? Are you angry with me? I felt that something is not okay. You want to talk? He could have just said that, I'm going through this. And I wouldn't have gone through all that pain because we were so close friends. Now, meditation also helps us to choose compassion over ego. See, with meditation, as and when we continue meditation and we keep doing it, we realize that slowly and slowly over the time, it will weaken our ego. That I factor, I am this, I am that weakens, because we all start understanding that we are all one. And compassion takes over, empathy takes over. So it strengthens that, empathy, love within ourselves. So meditation actually helps us to overcome this habit of making assumptions. Now, a few days ago, something similar happened again. This time I was the one who did that. So I was thinking about something, maybe some office scenario or something. I was thinking and I was walking, and I know I saw another friend of ours, and I just passed by without again acknowledging or greeting or anything like that. And within few minutes, 15-20 minutes maybe, I realized what I have done. Because you get into the habit. With meditation, you get into the habit of seeing things the way they are. So I realized, okay, I have done this. Then immediately, instead of that, waiting for that person to ask me, I went and told that, you know what, I was thinking, I know I saw you, but I realized it only now that I had seen you. And I went and told that person, and everything was fine. The other person was saying, I was also wondering what happened, why you went like that. So I saved a potential, disaster from happening that day. So this is something which I have experienced with meditation. We overcome lot of things in our life and we become better. We learn lot of things. And I would recommend that, try to be very, very regular with meditation every day, 30 minutes, whatever you can do, any time of the day, but do meditate. Make it as a priority in your life, because after, and I'm 100% sure you would have seen, in these many days, you would have already seen the advantages somewhere or other. And in 40 days regular, it should become habit. I would really request you to continue doing that even after the 41 days are over. So I will close with this quotation from Lord Buddha. And do not be judge of people. Do not make assumptions about others. A person is destroyed by holding judgment about others. And if there are any questions or anybody want to share their own experience, I would love to hear that. Anyone who would like to share that where any situation you had made assumption and it may had gone either ways, and you realize that it was all a case of assumption. Any question?
Thank you so much, Nidhi, for a
Thank you.
wonderful,
Thank you.
beautifully
Yeah.
explaining. Yeah, on daily basis, we do a lot of assumptions, and I have many times experienced this with my daughter and also at workplace. I'll mention this one incident. Someone, there is a testing that is happening for a release on a story that I worked. And offshore person, the morning by the time I log in, the offshore counterpart said the testing team is really being annoyed and they are pulling. They said there is some issue setting the test data and they are not able to. So we are trying to help them. They are not understanding, but they just started calling rest of the team of the developers asking for help. It sounds like we are not helping them. So asking the external developer other than who developed that. So the other counterpart was really frustrated, angry on the SIT team. But then when I actually started talking to the SIT guy, what I heard in his voice is he's panicked that his item is not being tested for so long and he is not able to understand how to set the data. And whatever that we are saying, he's not really keeping his brain in, so he's not able to understand. So basically, he's panicked and calling for help. He doesn't know what to do. He's just calling for help when he's asking others, other than me and the other person. That is his panicness, his worry. But it is not, I didn't feel anything against us, but it's only his panicness. When I could see that, I calmed myself. I calmed the other person. Then I tried to explain him one more time calmly. Then he could finish his job. So anything before understanding, before seeing what it is, if we really try to assume and conclude, that is what we want to see. That is what we materialize than the actual truth.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
I mean, you could have easily made conclusion that he is useless or he does not know anything.
No,
And
yeah.
took
And
compassion, yeah, and you explained him, which was the
and
right
I
thing. And
can, when I believe the other person and then I made my issues, um, then I can't really find a solution for that, and I make it even more complicated.
right. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.